Sometimes your ear knows something is right or wrong without you really understanding why. I mean, we all know this. This is why a lot of people say they don't need music theory. Of course, the trouble with that can be trying to put a box around it, trying to wrap it in the limitations of, well, when does this work and when doesn't it work? Like a lot of times you can kind of tell, but it's hard to articulate and it can be hard to know when it's coming. One of those things for me is with the dominant 7. This Sunday, I was playing kind of a more quiet part, and I noticed that it felt like sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. So here's the part. So you may have noticed right there, I didn't make it a 7 chord. I didn't make the 5th a 7 chord until that last one. And that's because for some reason, the first two instances of it just don't feel like it would work. It feels too forced, too barbershop quartet-y. I don't know, listen. I don't know, it just feels out of place, you know what I mean? If you know what I'm talking about and you can tell me why, I would love to hear it, drop it in the comments. I mean, I know the 4 in jazz is referred to as like an avoid note, right? And it's because it has a lot of tension built into it. It really wants to resolve down to the 3. And you can definitely feel that. I mean, I know a lot of music in general, especially CCM music, capitalizes on that whole that 4-3 suspension, and it can build a good melody that way. And so I get that sometimes you don't want to hold on to it for too long, and you really want to use it as a resolution. That's why the cadence from a 5 to a 1 works so well, especially when your 5 is a 7 chord, the dominant 7. That 7 in the 5 chord is the 4 for the diatonic scale. Right here, a dominant 5 chord is a D flat. We're in the key of E flat. And that 7 in the dominant 5 is the 4. It is an A flat. So like we're in that kind of avoid note territory, we're in that big tension build territory, but I don't know what it is. I'm stuck in the space of like, my ear is telling me it doesn't fit in these spots and it does fit in these spots, but I'm struggling to wrap walls around it. I mean, I think it's a really great thing that like my ear can hear, like maybe what should and shouldn't be played. I think that's a really valuable skill to have. I think there's a lot of ear training, because I know in those types of situations, like making that chord a 7 when maybe it doesn't fit just feels too, like it's too correct. It's like it's, I don't know, like I said earlier, it's like it's barbershop quartet-y. Like it's a really strong note. It can do a lot of heavy lifting and it can just be too much sometimes. But it's definitely something to watch out for. Like if you are the type of person who likes to, you know, slip in your jazz chords here and there, your 5th is not always necessarily going to sound best as a 7 chord. Sometimes it just needs to ring out as a normal, like, triad type of chord. And then if it really needs that extra splash of color, or if it really needs some tension to pull it to the 1, that will do it, but it just doesn't always need that. It doesn't always call for it. It just feels out of place sometimes. So watch out for that. And if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. I would love to understand what is going on there and why sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And that's it. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. I'd love it if you subscribe if you're into this sort of thing. And I will see you in the next one.